Yo, Elliot, my man, let's bond after I save. Because, you know, if nothing updates for you, then I'm gonna reload the save. So, you know how this goes. I can't stop thinking about our field study year from earlier in the year. Sure, it was tough, but it was fun. And Fee was still alive. Yeah, even if we did think he died back at the mine, I'm guessing news of V's actual death has probably reached Crow by now. I wonder how he's taking it. Sorry, it was probably super insensitive of me to bring him up. Just try and cheer up, okay? Elliot's definitely worried about me. Maybe we should hang out for a while. I just got a great idea for something we can do together. Come with me, Reen. What's going on now? You'll find out soon enough. Let's go. Elliot dragged Reen into the Reinford building. And after he borrowed a few things, Elliot dragged him right back out again. That sort of looks like the same kind of orbital guitar I used back at the festival. That's because it is. Both that and the keyboard were made by the Reinford company. They're display models, but they said they could use them since playing them right out here would make for good advertising. Should be all tuned up now. I've already got permission too, so shall we get started? Get started? Wait, you don't mean... I sure do. Let's play some music. Just you and me, putting on a concert in the middle of the street. Despite the sudden start, the two played with gusto, their focus entirely both on their instruments and the performance. Now hold on, bring back what Reen was playing there, because I was liking that little tune that Reen had going on. A surprising number of Brewer's residents had stopped to listen and clap for them too. All in all, it was a success. Whew, that was something. Impressive work, Reen. We were out of sync in a few spots, and we missed a note or two here and there. But it was fun, wasn't it? It was for me at least. Yeah, it was fun. It just goes to show that music doesn't stop at giving strength to the listeners. The performers get some too, I guess. I was every bit as happy as there I was when we performed at the festival. I'm a little biased, but I'd say playing yourself is even more fun than listening, to be honest. That's probably one of the reasons I just can't seem to give music up. Thanks for inviting me to join you, Elliot. This definitely helped me cheer up. You're very welcome. We'll have to do this again sometime if we can, with some time to practice, hopefully. Not just us either, the whole class, just like back at the festival. That sounds great. I hope we get our chance to do something like that. Their street concert complete, Reen and Elliot went back to the Reinford HQ to return their instruments with smiles of elation on their face. Is that right? Doesn't seem like it. Level 6 Bro Hood. Hey guys, you highway bound? That's right. I figured I might head out and fish for a while to pass the time. One of Gwen's favorite fishing holes is supposed to be out here, or supposed to be out there, so I thought I'd give it a try for myself. Oh yeah? I know that one. It's not far from where our boat first landed. Just be careful though, the monsters have gotten a lot tougher than they were when Gwen used to fish out there. Well, I will, don't worry about me. In fact, you shouldn't be worried about anything at all. Take some time to de-stress yourself while you've got it. Everyone has times when they just need to open a window and let some fresh air into their lives. I'll give that a try, thanks. Maybe fishing with guys would let me open that window you mentioned. Well, how about we fish together? If it's a good way for me to unwind, it's good enough for me. That's what I like to hear. Reen and guys then made a beeline to Gwen's old fishing spot on the Spino Byroad. Once they made it there, the two got right to fishing. Guys being the only old Class 7 member to fish. Yawn. Well, watch. The yawn will come after. Wait, actually. Okay, that was a bullshit yawn. It feels like ages since I just put my cares to the side for a while and cast out a line like this. Yeah, ever since the war started, we've had no shortage of things to be worried about. It's probably healthy for us to take the opportunity to unwind every now and then. Yeah, even now I'm feeling all the built-up tension just kind of soften and melt away. Did you fish much back home? I got in some good rod in real time, sure. Hardly as much as Gwyn, though. He used to take me out on his boat to fish, especially when he could tell I was feeling down about something. Huh, really? You always seem composed. I guess I just assumed that nothing really ever got to you like that. Man, that's embarrassing to admit. We've all got our worries. Don't fret about it. Sure, I feel down sometimes, but it always passes in time back home. I was always surrounded by people who cared about me. Mom, Dad, my siblings, neighbors in the settlement. Whenever I started feeling down, they were there to cheer me up. And I always tried to do what I could to be there for them in the same way. That sounds like a good life. And that's how you became the dependable guys we all look up to. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. Still, I'd like to think if there's ever anything you need, you'll be able to rely on me. This class would never have come as far as we have if we hadn't supported each other along the way. You're right about that. I'll make sure to keep it in mind. Monsters! Damn, I might have noticed them earlier if we'd been paying more attention. This reminds me of back when I rescued Lieutenant General Vander a year ago. Back at least that time, I had a horse. Well, this time you've got me. True, together we can take them. Drawing their weapons, Reen and Gaius fought valiantly against the horde of monsters. And despite being vastly outnumbered, they triumphed by making the most of each other's strength in combat. And they just went poof. Well, I'd say we managed to beat the odds, wouldn't you? See, you are dependable, just like I said. It takes two to cover each other's backs, and whenever you need me, I'll have yours. Likewise. The battle won, they made their way back to Brewer. It is strengthened, but will it stay that way? No, it will not. I'll be heading out shopping soon. From our perspective, causing one of the four gray houses to withdraw from the war is a monumentous, I think I was getting close to it. Monumentous achievement. I don't know anymore, man. But for my brothers, it's likely all within the realm of expectation. I doubt we've caused them a moment's hesitation. The only thing it's done is reclassify us as more of a threat, so we'll need to be more careful than ever as we fly around. Yikes. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Still, I would not advise becoming so cautious that we're unable to get anything done. But that's a thought for another time. Right now, you should focus on taking some time to unwind. I think I will. Thanks, Eustace. Resting up wouldn't be so bad, but maybe I should join him in his shopping. Could I join you? Honestly, shopping for supplies sounds like it could relieve some stress, just as well as a nap. Do what you will. My first stop is RF Arms. Are you really going to use all these whetstones on your sword? And how much reinforcing tape does that hilt need? Better to be too well prepared than found wanting in a pinch. Practically, with the future as uncertain as it is, I would expect my father is already aware of what happened here in Nortia. Knowing him, he's probably already preparing to retaliate. Maybe you're right, especially with him working on a sold-out like these for his own personal use. Which is why we prepare ourselves as best we can for whatever lies ahead. Speaking of, I still have a number of other things to buy, including a book that the war managed to delay. Come, we're going to the general store. Okay, sure. We're starting to pick up a lot, though. I think we're going to need to be able to carry all this back to the ship. We aren't doing anything. You are. What? Hurry and take these to the counter. We don't have all day. I think my arms are starting to go dead. Oh, how did you end up getting me to carry all this stuff for you? I mean, I guess I could have said no, but still. Come now, you wouldn't make me waste my strength on such a heavy load, would you? Besides, given all the time you spend assisting the student council, I imagine you're used to menial tasks like this. Just pretend I'm Toa. I doubt you ever give her any guff, no? There's a mental image I wasn't prepared for. Better that than leaving your mind free to focus on burdens you need not to shoulder. Come along now. Wait, is he trying to keep me busy so I don't have to think about what happened yesterday? That's really nice of him, in a cold, off-putting, useless sort of way. But even so, I'm grateful. Reinvigorated by Eustace's awkward show of kindness, Rean carried his baggage from shop to shop without a single word of complaint. The two spent a long time in each shop they visited, scanning the shelves and putting more and more onto poor Rean's pile. While the experience was exhausting, it did indeed take his mind off his worries. I get what he's trying to do, but I don't know how much more of this my arms can take. Come on, Eustace. You can at least take something, anything. Eustace, does something in that magazine catch your eye? What is that? It's not the Imperial Chronicle. Look for yourself. The Noble Alliance marches to victory? The glorious Noble Alliance, led by Duke Cayenne, Chief of Staff Rufus Alberea, continues their victorious streak. Their quest to carry the country into a new, brighter future feels all the more complete with each new success, and it should only be a matter of time before the foolish Imperial Army is eradicated once and for all. Oh, this is quite the article. Not exactly going for the unbiased approach, are they? Of course not. I imagine the writers are just as much under the Alliance's thumb as those of the Imperial Chronicle. They're trying to manipulate public perception of the Alliance in preparation for their rule after the war is won. Both Duke Cayenne and my brother are thinking of not only how to win the war, but how to control Erebonia afterward. That's how far ahead they're able to think. Sorry, Eustace. This must be hard on you. Still, that doesn't mean we're going to lose out by not doing the same. Instead of focusing on the way things might be, we should focus on the here and now. What we can do to change things. If we do, I'm sure the future we want will fall into place. Wouldn't you agree? Well, I wouldn't disagree. So what if they're thinking 3 moves ahead? That all falls apart if we do something to shake up their plans. And that's just what we'll do. We'll get to the future we want. To think you're capable of such positivity so soon. But I suppose you still have much more of a capacity for it than I do. I want you back to your usual self as soon as possible, Rean. We won't be able to secure this future of ours otherwise. I'll see what I can do. Their shopping complete, they lugged their purchases back to the Courageous, stored them in the ship's hold, and went back into brewer. Look at this brohood going up, but will it be saved? Probably not. I'll be taking a look around the Brewer Institute of Technology soon. It's practically the premier technical university in the country, so I think any time I spend there will be to my benefit. I would imagine so. We did go inside during our field study, but that was just for Professor Smith's request, so we didn't explore much. Still, it's very you to make a break for the nearest school when we finally get a little time to rest. Well, if there's something I can only see while we're here, why wouldn't I? Maybe you should do the same. No better way to lift your spirits than to get your mind off what's getting them down. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Maybe he's right. Checking out the Institute probably would cheer me up. Yeah, I think you're onto something here. Would it be okay if I tagged along? Of course, I was kinda hoping you would. Shall we? Whoa! What was that? Sorry about that, guys. Oh yeah, I think... Yeah, oh, I remember the voice I gave this guy. Maybe this is the same one. Hey, I recognize you two. You guys came here for a field study one time with your other classmates, right? Hit that nail on the head, but... Mind explaining what those two tiny cars are? Actually, I think I remember seeing them during our field study, too. These babies, they're a new kind of toy we're developing. We're calling them orbital remote-controlled cars. They're basically little cars that run on orbital power that you can drive around with these radio frequency control devices. With things settling down here in Brewer, we're off to test our new and improved ones all around town. That's some impressive technology. You've replicated the look of the Reinford Company's Volkswagen of vehicles very well, too. Oh, do you recognize them, Machias? With the number of cars on the road of Heimdall, you start to recognize different models after a while. So I eventually decided to start doing some research into what each one had to offer. The Lux series was one of the ones that I found myself particularly fond of, so its name stuck in my mind. Now there's a man with taste. If you can appreciate the beauty of these little babies, you're gonna go far in life. Actually, you're just the kind of guy who'd like to give this thing a little test run. Are you serious? As serious as we've ever been. We want as many people playing with these things as possible, right? Oh, actually, it'd be great if you could grab another friend too. 3 people racing against each other would be just awesome, but would also provide us with some valuable data. Well, in that case, we'd be happy to play with your cars for you. And I already know who our third will be, though I'd hardly call him a friend. Wait, you're not thinking of... Yep, he was. Of all the things you could summon me out of the blue for, a toy car race. Still, it's not as though I have anything better to do. I accept your challenge. Smile while you still can. I expect you to give this your all too, Reen. Okay, if you insist. Well, now that you know the controls, the course will take you from here around the front of the RF building into the top of the steps over near F. You're gonna have to chase after your cars, though, since the orbital waves have a limited range. Wow, I love how when that happens, my internet cuts off. Well then, shall we get started? Take your positions. Ready, set, go! Their cars were at the starting line and the race of the century began. The 3 of them chased furiously after their cars, struggling to adjust to the unfamiliar controls. And as they finally neared the finish line, Eustace and Machias hit their competitive peak, each one desperate to claim victory. Grr, get the hell out of my way! Kneel before me, fool. Guys, calm down a bit or you're gonna... Oh. What? Impossible. It sounded like he crashed. Oh, they did. We have our winner! In first place, Reen Swarzer. Seriously? It was a neck-and-neck race, but once they crashed their cars, Eustace and Machias didn't stand a chance. Looks like you got a bit too carried away there, fellas. Ugh, that was careless of me. This is completely ridiculous. But we got some fantastic data thanks to you 3. We'll have to get this back to the lab and start brainstorming improvements right away. Great work, you guys, thanks. The race complete, Eustace went back to whatever he was doing, and the researchers skipped off gleefully to the Institute. Phew, I didn't expect that to end up being such a big thing. I'm a little frustrated that I didn't manage to come in first, but if the whole thing cheered you up, I'd say it was well worth doing. Thanks, Machias. That means a lot. Hey, no need to make such a big deal out of it. On a more pragmatic note, I can't see something like toy cars becoming very successful during wartime. Just another reason for us to fight for peace, I suppose. Yeah, that's a fight I'm sure we'll win. Besides, if these things ever make it to the market, we can have another race. Sounds good to me. Next time, I'm taking Eustace down. So it has. Level 5 brohood. Oh, Lisa. I'd rather throw myself out the window. What are you up to, Lisa? I'm just checking out the rooms to make sure everything's in order. Sharon supposedly put everything back in order now that Director Ragner's gone, but still. It can't hurt to double check, right? I hate it if he ran off with something valuable on his way out. Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who develops sticky fingers. Do you want a hand or something? I'm fine, thanks. I've got a pretty good idea of where everything was, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. Mother's more than busy enough, so I might as well just get it done. I feel like I should help her out anyway. Are you sure about doing this on your own? I mean, 2 people would be able to get the job done twice as fast, right? What are you planning, Schwarzer? Nothing at all, I swear. Just kidding. Of course I'll take you up on that. I mean, what if there are cameras? The 2 of them made their way around the Reinford household, scouring each and every room for any signs of malfeasance or missing property. Fortunately, thanks to Sharon's organizing everything the night before, it didn't take them too long. Before they knew it, they had only one room remaining, the chairman's room. Well, I'm glad to see that at least the rooms aren't a complete mess like they were yesterday. Sharon's done a great job cleaning everything up. And it doesn't look like there's anything missing either. Well, that's good news. As much as I feel bad criticizing Angelica's uncle, Heidel Ragnar must be an absolute slob. You'd think as a noble he'd at least pay a little more mind to cleanliness. I feel sorry for his housekeeping staff. It's probably more than being a noble. He thought he could get away with never having to clean anything. Imprisoning your mother seemed to have inflated his ego. You're probably right. Suddenly having power over someone he was never able to stand against must have been a real threat. Either way, we're almost finished here, so... What is it? Oh, I just noticed something sticking out slightly from between 2 of these books. Huh? This is... It's a photograph of you as a little girl. And that looks like your mother, which would mean... Yeah, that's my father. Why is this hidden away on her desk, though? Maybe she pulled it out to look at it every now and then while she was working, but didn't want anyone to know. Honestly, I'm surprised. But here it is. I don't think there's any doubt that's important to her. I guess you're right. Elisa put the photograph back where she found it, and the 2 of them finished checking the rest of the rooms. Once their work was done, they treated themselves to a well-deserved rest. Now I'm back in this spot. Well, that sure took a while, huh? I can only imagine how much of a task that would have been if you had to do it all yourself. Truth be told, I probably would have given up part way in and just left the rest to Sharon. Thank you so much, Reen. For what? Helping out? Well, sure, but while finding that photo earlier, it might have just been a coincidence. I doubt I would have looked around in Mother's room if you hadn't been there. If I hadn't, I never would have discovered that or realized that maybe somewhere deep down she really does care. I think you would have. Even if not today, you would have realized it eventually. She's your mother, after all. The 2 of us... The 2 of you will always have that connection as family, like it or not. I think the day will come when you 2 will understand how much you care for each other, with or without a photo to show. I'd like to think so, at least. Talking with you like this reminds me of when we had our field study here. We had a little heart-to-heart about Mother back then, didn't we? In this room. It was this room, actually. There's a lot I'm really thankful for. Thankful to you for. Though I wouldn't have been able to free Mother or this city on my own. And this is hardly the first time you supported me or helped me accomplish something when I needed it most. So for all the times I was too stubborn to say it, thank you, Reen. I hope I'll get the chance to repay you for this, someday. For everything. Repay me? Well, anyway, thanks for all your help today. I'm gonna be going now. See you later. Oh, right. I'm not sure what that was all about, but I guess I better get ready to head out too. Eh. What's it matter? Ah, time for something. Say, what's that black book you've got there? Oh, this? I'm not sure myself, to be honest. It's just some old book I ended up with. Ah, would you mind if I took a little look at it? Not at all. Have a look. Or have at it. Rean showed the book to Instructor Thomas. How fascinating. Is something the matter? Oh, my apologies. This is just so unusual that I ended up getting lost in my own thoughts for a moment there. You see, I believe this is actually one of a series of ancient books collectively known as the Black Records. Then you're familiar with it. I'm not a scholar and teacher of history for nothing, you know. But that said, all I know is that they exist, I'm afraid. I'm not sure what's actually written in these books. Evidence points to them containing information on the history of this land that's been lost to the ages, but beyond that... Wow, really? Have I piqued your curiosity? Why, I scarcely blame... or whatever, I don't care. I'm as giddy as a schoolboy, just looking at it. Let me get to work on deciphering it right away. You mean you could translate that ancient script? I believe so, by cross-referencing other extant historical records. The book's seen some heavy damage though, so I'm afraid that I can pull will be far from a cover adaptation. Still, if you're interested, would you be willing to leave it in my care, along with any others you might find, of course? By all means, here you go. Whew, I think that's about as much as I'm going to get out of that. Wow, this is really fascinating stuff. Though being able to read snippets and sort passages just makes me more curious about the parts you couldn't decode. Unfortunately, the damage was even more extensive than I thought. This was the best I could do right now. I might be able to decipher more if I had access to a dedicated research facility or some similar institution. But with the resources I have at hand, this is about all I can make it for a certain. I see. I appreciate you doing what you could. Yes. Alright, what little different dialogue we got here? Now that you mention it... How despicable. They should be ashamed of themselves for trying to take advantage of the misfortune of others. Ugh, what a group of shameless cowards. Did someone from the RMP dish some info or something? That rifle looks like their latest model, so I'm guessing you ran into them. Well, alrighty then. Oh, I remember now. They said their name was Bugbear, I believe. Yep, like I said before, they're a bunch of random wannabe Jaegers. What would Bugbear be doing here? With just the two of you? It might be wise to check the bridge and the guest rooms as a precaution.